Every few decades, a machine arrives that shifts the meaning of progress. Not through louder engines or sharper lines, but through a complete rewrite of what comfort, performance, and intelligence can feel like together. Imagine a vehicle that can read the road before you reach it, that tailors every sensation inside its cabin to your personal rhythm, that treats motion as an art form shaped by algorithms and electricity. This is not about nostalgia or horsepower nostalgia. It is about a quiet revolution wrapped in leather and light. The future of luxury has never been louder in its silence, and the technology behind it may redefine how we measure status, serenity, and speed. Today, we are diving deep into that future, where power meets precision and intelligence becomes the new opulence. If you enjoy exploring how innovation reshapes the road ahead, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment on what model you want to see next. The 2025 BMW i7 M70 represents a turning point for both the brand and the broader idea of what a luxury sedan can be in the electric age. It is not simply an electrified version of a flagship, but a re-engineering of comfort, control, and connection. To understand how it reached this point, we have to start with the foundation. BMW's i7 series already merged high-end craftsmanship with advanced battery systems, but the M70 takes that synthesis to its ultimate form. Every inch of the vehicle, from its dual-motor setup to its AI-driven suspension mapping, tells a story about precision measured in milliseconds rather than miles per hour. At its core, the 2025 BMW i7 M70 delivers 650 horsepower and 748 pound-feet of torque through a dual-motor configuration that enables instant response without a whisper of hesitation. Yet, that power is only the surface of its innovation. The deeper brilliance lies in how it manages energy and emotion at the same time. Engineers have built predictive algorithms that continuously analyze terrain, driving behavior, and traffic patterns to distribute torque and adapt suspension damping in real time. What this means for the driver is an experience that feels both effortless and anticipatory. The car seems to sense what comes next, making every input feel lighter, smoother, and more deliberate. BMW's signature philosophy of balance, long known as the ultimate driving machine, evolves here into the ultimate learning machine. The i7 M70's technological core begins with its fifth-generation e-drive system, which compresses motor, inverter, and transmission into a single compact housing, reducing weight while improving efficiency. The result is not only better acceleration but also refined thermal management, allowing the sedan to sustain performance longer without heat-related compromise. The 101.7 kilowatt-hour battery supports fast charging up to 195 kilowatts, giving it over 295 miles of range in optimal conditions. What is remarkable is how BMW has tuned the power delivery curve to make the experience feel organic. There is no abrupt surge or digital harshness. Instead, the torque builds like a wave that you guide rather than control. That fluidity continues inside the cabin, where the focus is on emotional technology. The BMW i7 M70 introduces what the brand calls shy tech, hidden innovations that reveal themselves only when needed. Speakers disappear behind Alcantara panels, sensors vanish into the trim, and lighting subtly shifts hue to match driving mode or passenger mood. The effect is less about spectacle and more about serenity. Technology serves, but never shouts. The design aesthetic follows this same quiet confidence. The exterior proportions remain dignified and bold, with the signature kidney grille reinterpreted as an illuminated contour. Split headlights lend a futuristic identity while maintaining the unmistakable BMW stance. The M-specific accents, especially the black side skirts and rear diffuser, signal performance intent without aggression. There is restraint, and that restraint becomes its own form of luxury. Inside, the attention to sensory detail borders on the obsessive. The seats feature multi-contour adjustment with massage, ventilation, and thermal functions that calibrate automatically based on driver preference. The expansive curved display integrates both infotainment and instrument data in a single fluid sweep across the dashboard. Behind it runs BMW's latest iDrive 8.5 software, a system that understands natural speech patterns and even subtle emotional tone. The voice assistant no longer just executes commands. It converses with purpose. The theater-like rear experience transforms the i7 M70 into something beyond a vehicle. With the optional 31-inch 8K screen folding down from the roofline, passengers can stream media in cinematic aspect ratio, complete with 5G connectivity and an immersive Bowers & Wilkins surround sound system. The line between car and lounge fades. Still, what defines the 2025 BMW i7 M70 most clearly is its dual personality. Engage the M Sport mode, and the sedan recalibrates its stance. The suspension stiffens, steering sharpens, and throttle mapping compresses the time between thought and motion. Yet even here, comfort never disappears. It is an equilibrium rarely achieved in high-performance EVs, which often sacrifice grace for aggression. The M70 refuses to compromise. Every system, drive, brake, steering, and suspension, operates within an integrated digital domain. Through over-the-air updates, BMW can refine each parameter remotely, evolving the vehicle post-purchase. This means the car you buy in 2025 can subtly improve in 2026, becoming faster to react, smoother to ride, or more efficient in energy use, all without touching a wrench. That future-proof quality is key to its allure. Buyers at this level expect timelessness, but in the electric era, timelessness requires software as much as craftsmanship. For BMW, the i7 M70 serves as a proving ground for this balance. It is not only an expression of what their engineers can build today, but a platform for continuous learning that mirrors the AI-driven world around it. The car does not end at its assembly date. It evolves, learns, and refines. In this way, the i7 M70 becomes a living object of design, one that carries the emotional DNA of the M division into the digital century. When you experience it, the sensation is one of quiet dominance. The car doesn't demand attention, it earns it. And that subtle power, the power to captivate through composure, might be its greatest innovation yet. In the 2025 BMW i7 M70, every major system communicates across a neural network that acts like a conductor managing an orchestra of electrons, sensors, and feedback loops. What makes this model distinct is how these systems collaborate seamlessly, not merely coexist. Consider the interplay between the dual electric motors and the all-wheel drive control unit. Each motor receives independent torque commands calculated hundreds of times per second, meaning the car can subtly correct traction, enhance cornering balance, or extend range without driver input. It is a transparent process, but one you can feel in every curve. The steering remains light yet purposeful, guided by an adaptive rack that responds differently at low versus high speeds. On the highway, it centers itself with uncanny stability. On winding roads, it feels almost telepathic. This is where the spirit of the M division lives on, now translated into code. The adaptive suspension in the 2025 BMW i7 M70 deserves its own spotlight. Using a combination of air springs, electronically controlled dampers, and a camera-based prediction system, it reads the road ahead and prepares before the car reaches it. The result is uncanny composure over rough terrain and a floating elegance on long straights. The dampers can stiffen individually when the system senses an upcoming corner, then relax the opposite side for balance. What once required mechanical intuition is now the work of algorithms. Yet the engineering does not come at the expense of feel. The car never feels detached or clinical. Instead, it blends awareness and confidence in a way few vehicles can replicate. The technology behind the i7 M70's propulsion reveals how BMW is redefining the M badge in the EV era. The synchronous electric motors use a proprietary winding technique that eliminates rare earth materials, making production more sustainable while increasing responsiveness. It also enables instant torque without the high-frequency vibration that plagues some competitors. When combined with the latest thermal control and regenerative braking system, the drivetrain becomes an ecosystem, one that recycles motion into energy with remarkable efficiency. The brake-by-wire setup modulates pressure so naturally that most drivers will never notice when the system switches from regenerative to mechanical braking. That seamlessness extends to the car's energy management. The i7 M70 employs route-based optimization, using GPS data, elevation maps, and real-time traffic information to predict how best to deploy energy reserves. For example, before descending a long mountain stretch, it preconditions the battery to maximize regenerative recovery. On city commutes, it may prioritize comfort and low draw to keep cabin systems running at peak efficiency. All of this happens automatically, invisible yet tangible in the experience of effortless control. The digital intelligence extends into personal interaction as well. The iDrive 8.5 system in the 2025 BMW i7 M70 is far more than an infotainment interface. It functions as a central nervous system, connecting the car's drive logic with user preferences, navigation habits, and even biometric indicators. With sensors embedded in the cabin, it can adjust temperature and lighting based on passenger stress levels or time of day. The software learns patterns, when you like cooler air, which playlists you choose for highway drives, how you prefer your seat tilt for morning commutes, and refines its responses until the car feels uniquely yours. That is not a marketing claim. It is a measurable behavioral adaptation. The emotional dimension of the i7 M70 is most apparent through its use of sound. Electric cars are naturally quiet, but BMW has partnered with composers and acoustic engineers to craft a digital soundscape that matches the car's motion. Acceleration triggers tonal shifts that mimic tension and release, while regenerative braking introduces subtle decrescendos. It is not an artificial engine note. It is a symphony of data expressed through art. Every action has an auditory echo, creating a sense of occasion with each journey. The interior layout reinforces this immersive design. Ambient lighting flows across the dashboard, doors, and ceiling, synchronized with driving mode. In comfort mode, the hue is warm and calm. In sport, it sharpens into cooler blues and purples. The goal is to make each transition emotional, not mechanical. The 2025 BMW i7 M70 transforms technology into theater, but a theater where you are both audience and participant. Beyond luxury, there is purpose in its engineering choices. BMW developed a new high-density battery architecture that maintains cell integrity under heavy load while optimizing cooling channels to extend longevity. The result is a pack capable of sustaining repeated high-output acceleration without degradation. For owners, that means reliability without compromise. For the industry, it sets a new benchmark in thermal consistency. The i7 M70 also introduces modular serviceability. Critical components are designed for quick replacement rather than full disassembly, reducing maintenance time and resource waste. Sustainability becomes performance in another form. The ethical dimension continues with materials. The cabin uses recycled plastics, plant-based leathers, and wood sourced from certified forests. Even the aluminum in the chassis comes from foundries powered by renewable energy. The sustainability message is not an afterthought. It is woven into the car's DNA. BMW knows that tomorrow's luxury buyer values conscience as much as craftsmanship. Yet none of this would matter if the car lacked soul. And that is where the 2025 BMW i7 M70 surprises most. Despite its digital mastery, it retains the emotional immediacy that made the brand famous. The steering feedback remains tactile, acceleration visceral, and the rhythm of motion unmistakably human. The car communicates not through vibration and roar but through trust and rhythm. It is a reminder that performance is not just speed, it is connection. In that sense, the M70 is not only an evolution of the i7 series but a manifesto for how the high-end electric sedan should feel. Confident, aware, and quietly alive. Its greatest accomplishment may not be what it adds but what it removes. Friction, hesitation, waste. What remains is pure intention rendered in motion. A design philosophy that could very well set the standard for the next generation of intelligent mobility. With the 2025 BMW i7 M70, the experience of luxury evolves into something almost organic. A partnership between driver and machine defined by continuous understanding. In this third act of its story, the focus shifts from what the car does to what it means. For driving, for innovation, and for the emotional language of performance. This model redefines trust in technology. It makes advanced systems feel human, approachable, and intuitive. As you live with the i7 M70, its intelligence becomes less visible and more essential, woven into every moment you spend behind the wheel or reclined in the rear seat. The vehicle learns you, not just your habits but your rhythm. When you accelerate, it responds not to force but to intention. The result is a rare sense of harmony, something that modern luxury often struggles to deliver. What sets the 2025 BMW i7 M70 apart from the world of cold automation is its ability to create warmth through precision. The lighting choreography, the tactile feel of the controls, the pacing of the interface, all exist to soothe rather than overwhelm. In this space, artificial intelligence becomes emotional intelligence. For years, High-end sedans have pursued comfort and silence, yet few have achieved the feeling of presence that this car offers. You do not simply drive it. You participate in its awareness. When the car anticipates a turn or adapts its suspension to changing conditions, it communicates assurance rather than dominance. It is technology in service of serenity. This equilibrium is what makes the M70's performance so remarkable. Even at high speed, the absence of vibration and mechanical strain gives the impression of time stretching. Acceleration feels infinite yet unhurried. Electric propulsion changes the emotional texture of speed. It becomes smoother, more linear, almost meditative. The M Division's challenge was to inject character into that calm, and they succeeded through software nuance rather than brute force. The car's responses have personality, yet they never overstep. It feels athletic, not aggressive. In a market crowded with electric competitors claiming futuristic brilliance, the 2025 BMW i7 M70 takes a different path. It reminds us that technology's true purpose is to disappear when it works best. The car's predictive algorithms, its biometric tuning, and its sound design all fade into the background until what remains is a natural flow between thought and action. This is the difference between digital complexity and digital mastery. Every piece of innovation finds its role within a greater composition, just as instruments form a complete symphony. What emerges is more than progress. It is refinement elevated to art. But the i7 M70's significance extends beyond personal experience. It represents how an established manufacturer can reinvent itself in the electric era without losing authenticity. The model serves as both culmination and beginning. The culmination of decades of combustion-era engineering and the beginning of a new philosophy where code defines performance. BMW has built not just a car but a framework for the future, where vehicles adapt long after they leave the factory. Through continuous software evolution, the i7 M70 will keep redefining itself for years, ensuring that ownership becomes an ongoing relationship rather than a static purchase. That longevity shifts how we think about luxury. No longer is it a matter of possessions that age gracefully. It is about experiences that renew themselves. In that sense, the 2025 BMW i7 M70 quietly changes what it means to own a flagship. It blurs the boundary between object and service, offering mobility that learns and evolves. The ripple effect of this concept will shape how other manufacturers approach design, customer engagement, and sustainability. Once intelligence becomes integral to craftsmanship, the definition of quality transforms. The i7 M70 shows that precision does not have to be mechanical. It can be digital, ethical, and emotional all at once. Ultimately, this car tells a story about how humanity and technology can share the same lane without conflict. Its strength lies not in acceleration figures or luxury metrics, but in the feeling of seamless belonging it gives its driver. The silence inside is not emptiness. It is intention. Every line, every function, every movement reflects the same quiet confidence that once defined grand touring and now defines the electric future. In the 2025 BMW i7 M70, we witness a blueprint for the coming decade. A world where performance becomes poetry, and luxury becomes intelligence expressed through motion. The 2025 BMW i7 M70 concludes its story not with spectacle, but with clarity. It stands as proof that the age of electric mobility has matured, no longer defined by range anxiety or novelty, but by mastery of experience. This model integrates performance, sustainability, and digital awareness into a single coherent vision of modern luxury. For decades, BMW's flagship sedans embodied a balance between driver engagement and refined comfort. Now that balance has shifted into a higher dimension where the human and the algorithm coexist. The i7 M70 captures that evolution perfectly, reminding us that technology achieves its greatest beauty when it disappears into the background, leaving only emotion behind. Over the course of its journey, the i7 M70 has transformed from a showcase of innovation into a living companion. Its learning systems evolve over time, ensuring that the car you drive tomorrow will be subtly smarter and smoother than the one you drove today. That adaptability gives it longevity far beyond hardware cycles. It becomes an ecosystem designed to age gracefully, not just survive technological change. In that sense, this car represents the future of ownership. Personal, intelligent, and quietly revolutionary. Beyond its engineering brilliance, the 2025 BMW i7 M70 reflects a cultural shift. It redefines power as awareness, luxury as connection, and performance as precision in silence. Its greatest contribution is not speed but understanding. The idea that intelligence can be intimate, not intimidating. Every curve of its design, every pulse of its electric motors, every shade of interior light speaks to a philosophy of elegance through empathy. It may well be remembered as the car that closed one chapter of automotive history and opened another, where emotion and data drive together. The journey of this model is also the story of progress itself. Measured, deliberate, and grounded in purpose. It shows that sustainable innovation need not sacrifice beauty, and that digital craftsmanship can feel as authentic as hand-stitching or engine tuning once did. As the flagship of its generation, the 2025 BMW i7 M70 leaves us with a vision of what lies ahead. Vehicles that do not just transport us, but understand us. For drivers, that means every trip becomes an evolving conversation between human instinct and machine intelligence. For the industry, it marks a new definition of excellence built on harmony rather than dominance. The i7 M70 proves that the road to the future is not loud or abrupt. It is calm, composed, and intelligent, moving forward with quiet confidence. If this is what the electric era looks like at its best, the future of luxury mobility has already arrived.